So today we're going to talk about mainly gaming topics, so I hope you're ready for that. First of all, we're going to start with Watch Dogs, the game that we've been all waiting for from Ubisoft. It was going to change the world, but it's been delayed to 2014 to many people's ire.
Yeah.
So they've delayed the game to June of 2014. It was supposed to be out...
I thought it was February.
February?
Yeah.
That's better.
Yeah.
That makes me feel a little bit better. They've delayed the game to February 2014, which means we were expecting it to be out pretty darn
like
soon.
3 weeks, basically.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be a launch title with the PlayStation 4, and then, nope, no longer.
See, that doesn't bode well for many reasons, but for one, the PlayStation 4 was going to have that as a launch title, along with Drive Club. And also the Crew was supposed to come out earlier, and that's also been delayed.
Yep.
So that's not so good. Now, what are the reasons why they might be doing this?
Well, this is the thing, like, you know, Watch Dogs obviously been a thing that people have been talking about for a while. At E3 and then just as recent as PAX Prime, they didn't have like playable demos, and Ubisoft's kind of weird about playable demos anyway. They usually wait until the last minute before they let press get their hands on it. But at the same PAX, they were letting people get their hands on with Assassin's Creed 4. It was just kind of weird that it was the same playable demo that they showed at E3 that they had in Seattle just a month and a half ago. I'm guessing the game wasn't done, and they realized that they weren't going to be able to get it out with the quality it needed to be, so they decided instead to...
Well, I had heard that they were doing it for quality reasons,
Yeah.
to make the game better, which to us as consumers is a great thing, because as we may or may not know, I didn't know this was related directly to pressures to hurry up the game, but Mass Effect 3 could have been a lot better if they had maybe delayed it a little bit.
Yeah, well, this is obviously speculation, and the tech industry is really weird and cagey about how much they're going to let you see the sausage, so to speak.
Yeah.
They're not going to tell you what's in the sausage, so you can only speculate. But if for anyone who's played Mass Effect 3, spoilers, everyone hates the ending.
That's not a spoiler. I think we
right,
all know nobody likes the ending, whatever ending you chose.
A lot of people are ardent defenders of it, but it's weird how it falls on a line of people who aren't necessarily like gamers, but are big film fans. A lot of those people seem to kind of like the endings, but the people that had stuck with the series from the beginning, I think you just did a binge, didn't you? Like a month?
Yes,
of
I
that?
did. I shot through 1, 2, and 3, and I did do that Galaxy at War stuff to help make my my effective military strength rating higher, so I could have the extended cut ending, which I take as the canon ending, because otherwise it's just too upsetting.
Well, yeah. What happened was the game came out in early March of 2012, and there's so many levels that are just beautiful, and so many stories that are told that are beautiful. Then you get to the last half an hour of the game, and
it's like, why did they make those choices all of a sudden?
Well, it was also like in the original, before the extended cut came out, it looked kind of cheap. Like when you wake up in the Citadel and all those dead bodies are around, it looked like a matte painting rather than like actual assets that you're wandering through. And then of course the infamous blue, green, and red choices that you make.
And it's all the same, and it's an existentialist nightmare.
There was a video that was released before Mass Effect 3 came out. It was like, you know, the last days of Mass Effect, and it was all about like finishing the game. And there were some statements made by the people in charge, like Casey Hudson and Mac Walters, who were the lead writers for this game, and Casey Hudson's the director of the game, that kind of indicated that it had been sort of cut off in November. Like they were told, wrap it up. They needed a giant guaranteed moneymaker to come out just before the end of the fiscal year, so that they could go back to their investors and say, hooray. And that's a sound decision, but if they'd waited just 3 months longer, they would have had a better quality game and would have made the money back, you know, despite having missed the fiscal quarter.
Well, it seems to me that they know Watch Dogs is going to be a hit.
Oh, yeah.
And they want it to be as big a hit as possible, and maybe even spurn like the next series. I don't necessarily see this as a terrible thing, that they're delaying it just to make the quality better. But I've heard that Ubisoft is expected to claim, I think, $70 to $90 billion in losses because of this, and they had expected to make $170 billion in profits.
Yeah.
So this is potentially disastrous.
Possibly. It's definitely going to be less money than they wanted to make during the holiday season, for sure. But they do have Assassin's Creed 4 coming out, and that's Ubisoft's Madden, basically. It's guaranteed. They have a new game that comes out.
Well, yeah,
every
they're pumping out one after another, year after year.
And they always sell a jillion copies. And this particular Assassin's Creed, it's like GTA on the high seas. I don't see how people aren't going to like kind of buy a lot of copies of it the way they always have. And in fact, Ubisoft's initial estimates, I think they're expecting to sell 10 million copies, which is going to be a ton of money for them. And if Watch Dogs does indeed come out early next spring, it's going to come out during the final quarter of the fiscal year, and it's going to make a lot of money, probably, if it's good. I mean,
it will. It better be good if they're taking this time.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks great. I've been excited for it for the past 2 years.
Yep.
I guess waiting a few more months won't hurt that bad, or it will hurt a lot. But still, what choice do you have? They released, as soon as GTA 5 came out, this campaign that was like, just spend 2 months in San Andreas and then come over to Watch Dogs. Yep. Made it a little longer than
and maybe
that.
it's a good thing for them. Maybe what actually happened, I saw someone tweet this, basically like the two teams in Ubisoft realized, oh crap, Assassin's Creed 4 comes out 2 weeks before this. We really need better corporate communication. Delay, and who knows, maybe they just want to let the game stand on its own as well. Maybe.
Don't flip any tables just yet, I would say, but it's tempting. Because we really want to play this game.
Oh, yes. And Chicago doesn't get enough settings in games. The only game I can think of that's ever been set in Chicago is like, Perfect Dark? Did you ever play that game?
No, I didn't.
It's by the same team that made GoldenEye, and if you ever check it out, it's super dated looking, but kind of fun.
The demos look great, so hopefully this will all be worth it and we'll be happy about it in the end and just pissed off for the time being.